So I'm pleased to be joined with Cassie and Aiden, and you guys are just two of the troop members at First Sun Valley Scouts Troop here in Winnipeg, and you guys are going on a big trip coming up soon. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about that, where you guys are going in January? Why don't you say, Cassie?
We're going to the Australian Jamboree.
How excited are you to go to Australia?
I'm excited. I'm really excited to go.
And what was it like, Aiden, for you when you found out like that you're going to get to go and you're representing your troop and you're representing Manitoba and Canada?
I was just surprised because this is like a pretty big thing, and usually I never get to do anything like this.
So it was just really an honor too, I'm sure, right? And just to have like the support of your friends and your fellow troop members, and you got one of your scout, Rosa's here, and she's probably really excited for you too.
Totally.
And we're going to be chatting with her in a few minutes, so you can stay tuned for that part. But, for Cassie, for you, like if someone was to just hear a jamboree, can you just explain like what is that?
It's like there's different jamborees. There's like Canadian Jamborees, which is all in Canada, and then there's World Jamborees, which is all over the world.
So what happens at a jamboree? Like, what are activities that you guys do, or competitions, or?
It depends on where you are. Sometimes if you're in a colder place, you do like more winter activities, but if you're in like a warmer environment, you do like water,
So what are you guys most looking forward to doing when you get over to Australia to participate in this jamboree? Is there one like specific event that you're like, I can't wait to do that? Or Aiden, what you look like you're excited for something. What is that for you?
Well, honestly, I'm just kind of excited just to see what's in Australia, because I've never been anywhere out of North America, so I'm just excited for that. And from all the videos I've seen of that place, it looks like pretty much an amusement park.
Have you guys got to go like on other trips with your scouts before?
Not out of the country.
So not this
so
big.
Far. Yeah.
Like later today, we're actually going to Ontario for a big camping thing.
Oh, that's exciting. So what do you guys get to do there? Like, is it just a camping trip, or?
Yeah, canoeing and
yeah, apparently
swimming.
There's lots of water and stuff there.
And for you guys both personally, I want to ask both of you this question. Just being in Scouts in general, like what's your favorite part about doing that? Is there something like specific that you look forward to doing each time you guys meet?
For me, I just love doing activities. I'm very active. And but every time I come to a meeting, I'm just anxious to see what we're doing.
And then what about you, Aiden? What's your favorite part about Scouts?
I like that in Scouts, it just seems that they give us more responsibility, because I compare it to like school stuff, like with a field trip. In the city full of people who could help you, they're like watching over you all the time. With Scouts, however, like we could be in the middle of a forest and they're just letting us run around and do mostly whatever we want.
And kind of figure it out for yourself. That sounds really cool. Just kind of giving you that taste of freedom and just to experience a different side as well. So going back to what you guys are going in January, so January 6th to 15th is the 26th Australian Jamboree, like we were saying. So obviously traveling across the world probably isn't a very cheap thing to do. You probably need to raise a little bit of money to be able to even just do it in the first place. So what are you guys doing to fundraise? Are you having like a specific fundraiser for it, or what does that look like?
In October, we're planning to have a giant social. So we've been posting stuff on Facebook asking for donations, and then like random companies are emailing us and I don't know. And
Just trying to figure out creative ways to fundraise.
and also me and one of the other people going yesterday, we went to random stores and asked if they would like to donate.
Was that very successful getting donations that way?
Most people were pretty confused.
They're like, why are kids coming and asking for things? But then you probably get to explain, and then they probably thought it was pretty cool too.
Yeah, and some people they just got really excited, and I have no clue.
Nice. Then do you want to add anything?
Also, every Thursday we go to Rivercrest. It's like a bar where you can buy food, and there's Chase the Ace. And we go over there and sell chocolate almonds and other things that we make. And we also have a GoFundMe going.
Nice. So then if somebody's watching or listening to this and they're like, I want to help support what you guys are doing, and I want to help send you guys to Australia, to the other side of the world, is there like a website, or you're saying Facebook? Like, where's the best place for them to find more information at?
We have a GoFundMe. First Sun Valley goes to AJ 2025.
And then that will have all the details on there, probably with like Facebook and websites and everything like that. All right. Well, perfect. All the best to you guys in Australia. Yeah. And we look forward to, if you want to come back and let us know how you do after just representing Manitoba, Winnipeg, Canada. That'd be amazing. So I'm pleased to be joined with Scouter Rosa. And, just a few minutes ago, we were hearing from Cassie and Aiden, who are two troop members that are going to Australia, and you're joining them. You're joining them to Australia?
Yeah, absolutely. Myself and another Scouter. I'm actually the one that presented the idea to the troop. And managed to get 4 kids jumped on board, and now we're on our journey.
And how does that process even work? Because you probably hear about these competitions, gatherings, things like that, and then you're like, okay, I'd love to do that, but I mean, something like Australia where you're like, okay, is that even feasible? Like logistically, how do we make this work? So is it just kind of like, okay, here's an idea, let's see if kids even want to do it in the first place?
Yeah, so the Jamboree happens anyways, but there's actually a Canadian contingent. So different countries outside of Australia, they have to have a contingent, and they actually organize everything, and we have to apply to go. So each of us, the 4 kids and the 2 Scouters, had to apply to go. Part of the application process was we had to answer questions like, why do you want to go to the Jamboree? How do you feel about representing Canada and stuff like that? And they have to actually answer these questions because they want to make sure that you actually want to go. It's not just because I want to go because I'm going to Australia. Mm-hmm. So once we apply, and then if we get accepted, then the contingent actually does a majority of the organizing for us. Our biggest thing is that we need to get our visas ready. We need to apply for certain things to be able to volunteer over there. And then we need to fundraise. And as a part of our application, we had to commit to fundraising for at least half of the fee to go, which it cost $6,000 for each of us to go. And we had to commit to fundraising at least half. So $3,000, and then times the 6 of us, it's 18. The reason why they make us commit to it is because, again, they want to make sure that we want to go. They want to make sure that parents aren't just handing over the money for them to go, that the kids are actually fundraising, that they're working hard to make an effort to actually go.
And, hearing about the fundraising just from Cassie and Aiden a couple minutes ago, as you're kind of the one probably overseeing it too, and I mean, you said that they organize it, but I'm sure that you're really paying attention and be like, okay, we need to hit these goals as well. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. Fundraising, it's on us to do. The contingent doesn't help us with that in that sense. They're just making sure that we have flights and everything else. But for fundraising, as Cassie said, we've been at the Rivercrest in West St. Paul. We've been selling chocolate almonds and paracord items. They've been really good with that. And then we also recently had a pancake breakfast. As Aiden said, we're having a social in October. So we've been looking for corporations or companies to donate goods for our raffles. And also we're going to be selling tickets. That's going to be at the Gateway Community Center. We are going to have a 50-50 coming up. We are constantly selling chocolate almonds. We have our GoFundMe, which if you go to GoFundMe, it is Sun Valley goes to AJ 2025. We also have a public Facebook group, which is First Sun Valley. Actually, one second. Our Facebook group is First Sun Valley Australian Jamboree Scout Group. So that's first, but spelt 1ST. Sun Valley Australian Jamboree Scout Group, and that's where all of our fundraisers are. And it also kind of just has news about us, what we have kind of going on, what our goal has been. We've also been extra lucky that Events by Taz, Derwin, has actually, he used to be a scout, and he runs craft shows, and he rents out tables and stuff like that. And he invites us to come to his craft sales. We've been selling birdhouses and bird feeders and paracord items, tic-tac-toe, fire starters. He's been really good about it. He's actually donated to our cause as well. He doesn't charge us for the table. And then our scouts actually get their volunteer hours as well, because they get to go and help the vendors bring in stuff and like pack up stuff. And yeah, so he's been really great with that.
And what's it been like, even just watching the two of them, I'm sure, like kind of taking on the role and to be really showing the initiative to raise money and to be excited and to be doing this? Like, what's that like as their leader?
It's we have a thing called Proud Scouter moment. And it's absolutely, it makes me a proud scouter to see them actually step up and do things. And they get excited about it. So Rivercrest, for example, it seems like almost every week the scouts are actually asking their parents, so are we going to the Rivercrest? Are we going to the Rivercrest? And they get very excited about it. And when it comes to like other fundraisers, they're gung-ho to do it. And it's great. They have commitments that they have to do, like certain amount of camping dates and stuff like that. And to see them get excited and be like, yeah, I want to go to that. Like Aiden said, we're actually going to Rushing River today for Ontario. It's called a Keeney Camporee. So groups all over Ontario will be going to that, and then we get invited because we're not that far, and we're there all weekend. We're going to be doing like canoeing and just a whole bunch of different skills as well. So yeah, the Jamboree I've never been to a Jamboree, so it's also an experience for me. But it's going to be probably upwards of like at least 5,000 people there, if not more.
Wow, it sounds like it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
And just talking about like your own scout journey too, like how did you even get started in this as a scouter?
So I never got to experience this when I was younger, but my husband actually used to be a scout with this same group. So when it came time for my daughter to start doing things, I said, well, like, why don't we sign her up for brownies or Girl Guides? And he's like, well, I'd prefer if we actually did it with scouts, because then that way he can volunteer. Because with Girl Guides, dads can't volunteer, right? With scouts, it's co-ed. So he can still volunteer and become a leader. So he joined and he was attending meetings with her. And then it came down to, well, if we don't get more volunteers, then we can't run a program, because the only way that we can run scouts is through volunteers. So that's how I ended up joining. And honestly, I don't regret it. And I've gone full throttle into it. And I love the experience that I see with my kids, not only my kids, but other kids, and seeing them grow. Because I've been doing it I'm in my 5th year, and I've seen kids go from beaver age, which is like 5 to 7, all the way up to scouts. Which is 11 to 15, I believe. So it's definitely, I love getting to see their journey and seeing them grow and seeing them become good people.
Yes. And I guess you really just have that firsthand experience of seeing that like full circle moment with your husband too. So you're like, even just looking at the two of them sitting next to you right now, like that's what they can become too. Like they could become volunteers in the future too. So yeah.
And we've had, we actually have volunteers that their kids have aged out of the program. We have volunteers that they used to be scouts. Exactly. It's definitely, it's a rewarding experience. And it's something that like especially for the Jamboree, like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I say that because Jamborees are generally only once every 4 years. And the scouting years for scout age is actually is 4 years. So they will only get to go to one Jamboree in their lifetime.
Wow. That's so
unless they become a scouter.
So that's really the real reason that you want to keep coming back.
Exactly.
All right. Well, guys, all the best to you guys in Australia in January.
Thank you.